Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Josh. Welcome back to another toy review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Ultra Monster 500 series number 83, Dada Type A. Yeah, I know. Yep, that's his name. His name's Dada, D-A-D-A. I mean, judging by how they pronounce it in the show, I'm assuming you're supposed to say it fast, like Dada, because that's kind of how I hear it. Because if you just say it slow, you just sound like a little kid saying Dada, it's weird. Well, not as weird as the character itself, because he's kind of like a weird not a shape-shifting alien, but basically he has like this ability to sort of kind of clone himself. I don't know. That's why they call him Type A or Type B, because he could kind of like make multiples of himself, and the only difference is his face. At least he got this one. So okay, at least that lets you know that this is Type A. Now, anyway, now it's the so anyway, Data first appeared in Ultraman from 1966, and he appeared in episode 28, Human Specimens 5 and 6. And, Data basically being a complete jackass to the scientists, kind of messing around, and the Science Patrol comes in, and, well, we all know how that goes. So, yeah. So anyway, let's talk about the tag right here. Oh, dear lord. Anyway, back to the active. Anyway, back to talking about the tag that yeah, so this is a nice little clean picture of him. This is a more kind of updated photo because this is how he appeared in Ultraman Geed or Geed. I don't know. I mean, I think it's supposed to be Geed, but it looks like Geed. But whatever. Let's not melt our brains thinking about it. So he's number 83. So of course, this came out in 2017, so obviously they don't got that whole barcode. They don't got all like that wording kind of going on. It's one of those kind of more simpler tags. So you got that going on. Nothing in the inside. So yep. All right, let's take a look at the actual fit. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the actual fit. Fuck. Yeah, I'm very sorry. Let's just get right to the detailing and all that of the figure before I could talk about its pretty glaring problem. But before I get to that, I mean, painting and sculpting, I mean, for what these figures are, they're pretty spot on. So honestly, my opinion won't really change talking about how they look and whatever. But definitely one thing to note is that it is a completely painted figure, from back. Oops, sorry. Sorry. From back to front, from the side you can see all the lining, and it's perfect. I mean, they don't have to be like exactly perfect. I mean, it's a classic kaiju from like the 60s, for crying out loud. Why would you want to. So if it comes off as a little sloppy, I don't really mind it, because you can see like the inking in some areas where it's like it's kind of thicker, and then some of them aren't too much. I mean, for the most part, it is thick, except for small little parts like right here, like where my thumb is, obviously, but that's not really a bad thing or anything. I think it's still pretty cool. And I can't help but point out the paint so much. It's because, in later figures, they don't really completely paint them that much. So it's good to actually see a nice figure that will come out in the later years, actually have some pretty darn good paint. So that's nice. See, we got his weird face kind of going on there. I mean, honestly, let's be real here. He's kind of like a zebra. He's a freaking zebra kaiju or something. You got the hands. So one of the problems besides the falling thing that I kind of want to point out is the waist, because god damn it, this broke my heart. So I don't know if this is a person that does it or if it's a machine, that kind of puts them together, because I'm gonna show you right now after I put my camera down. It does not move at all. It's one of those glued on pieces. The only parts that move are the hands. I mean the arms. So that's about it. So that's yeah. Yeah, definitely. He's made of is this really vinyl? Because it's like he's not soft either. He's actually pretty rock solid. So not that that's a bad thing. But back to this whole pattern thing kind of going on. I mean, this bothered me so much. It is not perfectly aligned at all, and like I said, I don't really know who that falls under. Is it a person? Is it like a machine? I don't know. And to make things worse, obviously, if you saw these in person, you would know which one is good and which one isn't. But these are Japanese toys, so you don't see these in America. So yeah, you gotta like buy them online, and even though they'll show you like a good picture, like the product image, you're never really gonna get the one that's perfect like this. You gotta take it by chance, and that kind of sucks. So that I unfortunately I can't really comment on that too much. I mean, one last thing I want to talk about too before we go over its standing issue is the feet. This confused me so much because underneath, even though this figure was released in 2017, on this foot it says 2003. So I don't know. I tried to do information too. I tried to look it up. Like, was this like reused or something? Was this bottom half reused? And it's not hard to see why it might have been, but from what I've gathered, not really. So I don't really know why does it say 2003. Like I say, when it comes to Japanese toys like this, from Bandai, it's really hard to find like a good distinct history on the figures. And considering that they've made so many too. I mean, for all I know, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's like numbers for something. Maybe this figure wasn't really reused from 2003. I don't know. These are supposed to be completely brand new figures made for that current years. So I don't know what's up with that. So, normally I like to kind of give some background explaining the creations of these figures, but unfortunately that I don't have an answer for. Another thing too is you can see how he's a bit hunched. I don't know if that's just the way he is. He's not really the type of character to kind of hunch like that, so I don't. I'm just gonna assume that's a creative choice. I don't know because god damn it, he cannot stand. Right now he's standing perfectly, but the moment I move him around, he does not. I mean, yeah, he has trouble standing, and his feet aren't exactly soft, so it's not like the Ultraman figures where if they have trouble standing, at least you can find ways to make them move. But like I say, you can't really bet. You can maybe a little bit, but it's not really gonna do you much. It's not a soft plastic. It's actually pretty hard, like I mentioned. So yeah, unless you pull his arms back a little bit, at least that will prevent him from falling. But at the same time, like you've seen earlier in the video, he has a lot of trouble standing, and that's not good because if you if you want to put him on your shelf, and if your shelf is not even at all, good luck because you're gonna have to pretty much make him lean on someone. And I hate to do that with my look at that. I hate to do that with my figures too. I don't like to make them so crowded because admittedly that is an issue I have with my collections, but there's nothing else I can really do. So yeah, you see, even if I move the set, he falls. So it's like it's not like Gamora where at least they have a tail or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, the actual figure itself is not bad, but it's just issues like that are very unexpected. It's like it does hurt the overall experience of the figure because honestly, it's pretty good. I like that. Articulation's decent, sculpting and painting accurate as hell, but stuff like that and the standing issue, it's like, damn, I don't want that to take away from the figure. But, no worries. It's all good. So, before we end the video, of course, let's do a size comparison. Let's compare him to our Dark Clops Zero, who also appeared in Ultraman Guide. Of course, I have to bring him out because even he has a standing issue. But he has the opposite. He's way too back, while Dada is way too forward. So, I don't know. Here he is compared with Ultraman Belial, or BBL, as they call him sometimes. Come on now. Come on. Okay, good. Because he's the main antagonist of Ultraman Geed, or Geed. So I thought it'd be nice to kind of compare him. And heck, why not? Let's bring in one of his forms, Chimerbos, because, of course, also appeared in Geed. Why not, And plus, it's going to be a long time until I reviewed this guy in, Dark Clop Zero and Belial. So I just thought I'd show you guys how they look now anyway. Just because. Why not? This is... Is this going to be the rest of the video? Okay, let me do the last two, and then we're gonna leave. Ultraman, I mean, I think that's fine. The sizing I don't have an issue with. I think they're accurate enough. Even though, I mean, you know what? No, I think that's fine. Like I say, I don't know if that hunch thing is a. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but okay. Okay, one last comparison. The next figure we're going to be looking at next time is Alien Mephilus, or Mephilus. Are you gonna? Okay, good. There you go. Stay like that, please. All right. So yeah, this is gonna be the next figure we're gonna review. One quick thing I want to point out is that this figure actually did not came out in the Ultra Monster line. It actually came out in the Ultra Monster Orb line, which it's like it was a sub line, based around Ultraman Orb. But we'll get on that for the next review. So we're gonna end that right there. So my final thoughts on the figure is, like I've mentioned, if it wasn't for the issues, like the standing and, with the weird kind of decision right there with the waist, I think it honestly could have been a perfect 10 out of 10. It's good. It has everything that it needs to be a great figure, and it's a classic Ultraman character. A reoccurring one at that too. So you want to make this figure as good as possible. But issues like that, I will admit, does hurt it a little bit, so I have no choice but to give it maybe an 8 out of 10, sort of. I mean, I know the issues is probably not exactly Bandai's fault. Maybe this is just like, I don't know. What do you call that? I forgot. There's a name for that. Like quality control, right? Maybe this figure was mishandled. I don't know. I am kind of curious to if anyone's ever had that same issue of Dada, although I highly doubt it. Of course, it's probably me. Let's be real. So you know what? Let's end the video. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the review at least. And if you love these toy reviews of Ultraman, hey, leave a like and subscribe. Or dislike it if you dislike it for whatever reason. Obviously, Ultraman toys is not going to be the only thing I'm going to review. I'm trying to branch off to like Marvel Legends and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. I don't want people to think that this is the only thing I'm going to review. But until then, yep. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.